Hello and welcome to this video. Today I'm going to try to make velvet flowers, or don't judge me for the pronunciation, Ronghua. So basically they're Chinese velvet flowers. It's like an ancient craft where they use silk, like a specific kind of silk, and make flowers out of that. Some of you might have seen it already on like TikTok or Instagram, because there's many videos about people making flowers like this. So yeah, I decided to try it out for myself. Now, I cannot get the specific silk you're supposed to use here. I actually couldn't even order it from somewhere because it's like really hard to import and stuff. So I decided to try mulberry silk. So yeah, this is also Chinese mulberry silk. I got this kind of like embroidery floss. This is basically embroidery floss for like silk embroidery, for like making gradient silk flowers and all that. And yeah, I'm gonna try to make it with this. It hopefully should work since it also has long fibers, but we will see. So basically what you're doing is I'm using like a chopstick here, looping them around, and then I separated all the fibers and I tried to comb them. Like the people use like a soft brush that almost looks like a really soft like brush for like cleaning and stuff. I decided to try and comb it with this like nail cleaning hand washing brush. It kind of worked. Like the top part got really soft and all that, but the like end where it was kind of loose built up some like knots. It was super soft, the part also, but yeah, wasn't usable. So I will have to think about something else to do this. Also, I spent around an hour just threading and separating and making these gradients with the silk, and as you can see, it's tiny, the like spinny things I making, kind of like pipe cleaners, you know what I mean? Just a lot softer. But yeah, they are tiny. Also, the wire I'm using is like a really thin copper wire that I had in my stash. I don't know how thin it actually is, and it probably needs to be a bit thinner, but this was the thinnest and the softest one. Yeah, basically what I'm doing is I like twist the fibers in, and then I loop it around like halfway to make like the leaf shape. Then I'm using my tiny hot iron to flatten them and trim the edges. And yeah, I saw people like trimming the stuff before they flatten it, and I think I know why now. Some of the like fibers from the bottom, they got mixed in and it doesn't look as clean, because the fibers stay long, and when I cut them, obviously I can only cut the ones on the sides and not in the middle because they're flattened down. So I think they make it to basically make them more even. Basically, to connect them, all I'm doing is I bend them in the right shape, and then I use a bit more wire and wrap it around and add one leaf each time, and yeah, it looked awful. So let's try this a second time, and this time I spent over 2 hours separating the fibers. Yeah, it took a very long time also, and I felt like going insane doing this. I don't understand how people can do this. I guess this is like I'm watching TV in the evening project, but yeah. Anyway, so basically what I'm using here, all the videos I saw had like wooden contraptions where they could like clamp it in. I'm using a box here, like a metal box. I guess a cardboard box would probably also work. And then I clamp and taped the like skewers, or I guess chopsticks that I'm using here down. And I basically like twisted the wires around. And then when I finished twisting them around, I basically cut one side, and then I'm carefully like trimming the fibers. This scissor is super sharp, and it's a fabric scissor, but I still am like pulling the fibers out a little bit with the side. And yeah, I lost some of the loops, so I had to like, of course, save the end, because I didn't want to waste any of this material, because I spent so much time on it, and just yeah, try to like even it out and twist it around. And this time I actually found that it's really helpful to use like a toothpick on one side and like a chopstick end on the other side to basically twist them. It makes like a more even twist and I get more tension in it, and it makes it look way better, I think, than the first time. But yeah, this also took a while, but it was super satisfying actually to do, so this part is really nice and calming. And then the next thing I obviously did, as I mentioned before, is trimming them, this time before I'm flattening them. So I'm going around once to make sure everything is even, and then I basically like taper the ends all around. Cause some fibers will always fall out, that's just like normal. I guess if you have a thinner gauge wire that you can twist a bit more, that would also work better. As I said, I'm using like a wood plank on a like wooden piece to like rotate them and twist them. I tried using like a wood on wood piece, but it didn't really twist. I wonder if it's like a special kind of wood that has a bit more grain or something like that texture, so it actually like twists the wire. And of course with finer wire it would work better. And yeah, also I'm not the best at trimming this even, as you can see, so they will look a bit different, but you know, I would trim the leaves up in the end anyways, and I couldn't really get the hang of this. In the beginning it took a while to find like the right position to like hold them in and all that. It's a steep learning curve for me, at least in this kind of project, so yeah. But I managed, and it wasn't actually too bad, and it was very pleasant to work with this material because it's super soft and fluffy. Then I just repeated making the leaf, so folding them in half. As you can see, I also made gradients. Basically the packs I got for the silk flowers had all these really nice gradients, so I had to use them and make the leaves. And yeah, these turned out way more even from the like flattening, and the gradients I think look way nicer. There's still some stray things, and I think like the stray threads, maybe because my wire is a bit too thick still, you know, it is really fine, but yeah. Anyways, I could then of course trim the leaves down to shape, and this time it looked way more even and way nicer and like way more natural in fiber. Now I know that people actually treat these with like hairspray and other things to make them keep flat. I didn't do that because I have no idea where my hairspray went. So yeah, these will stay a bit more fluffy than they actually are supposed to, I guess. But yeah, in the end I just made, for this flower I decided to also make like a stem in the middle. So I used some like light yellow beads and just threaded them up and made them into a little bunch of like stem bits in the middle, or whatever they're called in English. And then again I'm just going around with leaf or petal by petal, not leaf by leaf, and I'm just like wrapping some wire around each time when I like put a petal down. This makes it read more accurate as to where the petals actually are. Then I'm just shaping it, and yeah, then I had a different idea. So flower I made beforehand, it looked really awful, but I wanted to make some leaves for the other flower, and I decided I didn't want to spend another hour like threading up the green. So yeah, I got the green for this purpose, but I decided, you know, I have the fluff from the other one, so I might as well use it. And yeah, here's the final result. As you can see, it's definitely a bit more fluffy, but it kind of has a flower shape, and it is super soft, and surprisingly the fibers stay in now. I guess they would stay in a bit more if I would use like a fixative hairspray or something like that, but yeah, it's more than good enough for me. And yeah, I have to say, this craft is very tedious. I guess with the right materials it might be a bit more easy, but yeah, I suspect you will still spend hours like threading everything. I'm not claiming by far that the techniques I used were like the original ones they would use. I just basically tried to like look at the videos and figure out how to do this, but yeah, it worked out, and I'm happy to see that actually the mulberry silk worked out really well too. I was kind of fearing the fibers would fall apart, but it definitely didn't. And if I think about it, maybe actually you can use polyester yarn too, you know, for like we use it for doll wig making and stuff. Maybe it will work for this too, but yeah, this mulberry silk is way softer probably than that, and it has a really nice shine. So yeah, in the end, would I do this again? Probably not, but maybe if I was really bored. And next time I would definitely either buy probably a new hairspray or search for mine, because yeah, I think it would look really nice to be have the petals even more defined and more flattened. But yeah, I'm still really happy, as I mentioned, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video with this little like different kind of project and craft I tried, and let me know in the comments down below if you ever tried something similar like this, or would you ever try this. And yeah, any tips and tricks are always also welcome if you ever tried this. Anyways, hope to see you next time. Bye!